Hey everybody, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie Jessica.
Tell the lovely people what we're doing today.
Historical romance.
Convincing style.
Yes. You guys have given us those. This is going to be a fun video. We have 37 historical romances here. So if you have been ready for your historical romance era, this is the time. So grab your TBR, and you have 37 books that our viewers have loved and recommended for you to pick from. So this is like the ultimate historical romance video. Jessica and I will each pick one. And I believe we're going to have to pick something different, right? I think in the spirit of the video, we need to each pick a different one, especially since there's 37 to pick from.
We'll see what happens.
Which means that I'll have to concede and pick a different one if we pick the same. I see how that is. Okay, so let's go for it.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
So the first book we have is called The Great Alone. It is by Kristen Hanna. It's a historical fiction with abuse, survival, and mental health. And hold on, because I left my mouse. Son of a booger! I don't like not having a mouse. I left it at the warehouse. So it is one family hoping to outrun their demons, heads off to start a new life in Alaska in the 70s. Lenny is a young teen when her father, a POW survivor, and mother uproot her life for a new adventure. This is a hard look at mental health, love, family, survival, and resilience. Kristen Hanna never fails to pull at my heart, and her audiobooks are always excellent.
Okay. Next, we have Again the Magic by Lisa Kleypas. Okay. So this also is Second Chance, Class Difference / Opposites, and Friends to Lovers. So Lady Elaine. I always thought Elaine was with an E.
It can be spelled either way, I think.
Okay. Was supposed to marry a man of class, but her heart had other ideas. Her heart chose John McKenna, even though it was forbidden. She has to break his heart in order to save him. Years later, he comes back for revenge on the one who broke his heart, but all is not what it seems. And the person who recommended this says she is not a huge historical romance reader, but she loved this one.
Mm-hmm. That one might be Elaine when I look at how she spelled Elaine. I don't know. That's a different name. Okay.
Lady Elaine.
Sure. We'll go call that. Okay. The next one that we have is called The Sum of All Kisses. It is by Julia Quinn. It is Forced Proximity, Scarred Hero. She blames him for what happened to her family. His leg got ruined in a duel, forced proximity, and there is audio. She said, the person who recommended it, Mandy, it is not dark at all. It's a feel good, so Jessica would hate it. Oh, you guys.
Okay.
You know us so well. Okay.
So next we have No Rest for the Wicked by Lauren Smith. This is forced proximity because they are on a ship sharing a room. Well, how much forced proximity can you get out on the water sharing a room? She was with her father and the ship is taken over by pirates. She is dressed as a cabin boy. He was sold into servitude as a boy. He gives her two choices: sleep with him or be a cabin boy. There is audio.
Okay, that one doesn't sound too bad at all. Okay. Next is, let me see here. If my friggin' mouse would work properly, because I don't know how to use a real mouse. Passion by Lisa Valdez. The tropes are he's too big. This falls under erotica. Hero meets a heroine. They hook up pretty quickly. He is bigger than most and can't believe the heroine can take it. The heroine is tasked with trying to resist meeting the hero for lusty rendezvous and instead focuses on landing a respectable marriage. It is fun. It's a fun read that doesn't take itself too seriously, but after 10 years, I still think about this book, she said. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, we have No Longer a Gentleman by Mary Jo Putney. This is also spy, fake fiance, heroine saves the hero, and hidden identity. And they say this is a difficult book to describe without giving everything away. It is not your typical damsel in distress historical book. In fact, it is the MMC that is in need of saving, and it's not your typical historical romance regarding spicy times. There's action as well, and it has audio. And they said they don't think they've ever seen anyone talk about the book, and it's just that it's different from the typical historical fiction you find.
Okay.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. All right. So the next one is Love and Other Scandals. It is by Caroline Linden. It is brother's best friend, ugly duckling, forced proximity. The leading lady is a bit older for the times, and because she doesn't fit the beauty norms of the ton, the leading man is quite happy to carry on sleeping around. They are forced to spend time together. It has humor and heart. The banter is good in all capital letters, and there is audio. So I don't see anyone talking about this book. It's slightly different from the normal historical fiction. Mandy might like this one more.
Okay. So next we have The Secret by Julie Garwood. It's Scottish and forbidden friendship.
I've read
So
this one.
you have?
It's really good.
Okay, so two little girls, one Scottish and the other English, form a friendship when very young. The Scottish girl's mother died in childbirth, and her English friend promises that she will travel to Scotland prior to her friend giving birth to ensure she survives childbirth. This book is my favorite historical romance, and I love the banter between the characters. It's a book that you end up reading multiple times. I'm not sure how many times I've read it, but maybe at least 6 times.
Yeah. So like he's like the layered when she gets there, like it is romance, but yeah, it's really good. Like she becomes a midwife just for that purpose. So good. Okay.
Okay.
So the next one is Rain, and it's by Roxy Noor. It's Fish Out of Water, regular funny girl meets prince, and next in line for the throne. Daughter of a diplomat takes a train to meet her parents for a formal dinner at the palace with the royal family. She drinks the vodka at every toast instead of sipping from it, and it is very funny. The prince is charmed by her. Spice turns into love and an inseparable bond. Not set in historical times, but such a sweeping love story. It's one of her favorite audios and a hidden gem.
Okay. So next we have This Earl of Mine by Kate Bateman. It's a marriage of convenience with a twist, enemies to lovers, and mistaken identity. The heroine Georgie is a wealthy heiress and is desperate to avoid marriage. She decides to marry a criminal in the local prison. Sold.
Oh,
To get everyone off her back about marriage. She assumes she will never see him again, but she is surprised when she sees him at a society event. The hero, Benedict, is a police detective and was undercover in the prison. They must work together to solve a mystery, and in the process, they start to fall for each other.
okay.
Oh,
Okay.
it says this book takes trope of marriage of convenience and adds a twist. Author Kate Bateman writes badass heroines who defy what society expects of them. There are many interesting side characters that help the hero and heroine realize what they want in their relationship.
Okay. So the next one I have is also by Kate Bateman. It's called To Catch an Earl. It is Secret Identities, Forced Proximity, and Enemies to Lovers. The hero is a Bow Street police detective investigating the notorious jewel thief, the Nightjar. While investigating, he realizes it's a woman, the heroine, named Emmy. Years later, they share a passionate kiss at a ball that both haven't forgotten about. While Emmy toys to keep her identity a secret, might mean to say tries to keep her identity a secret, Alex finds a way to catch her. They're also forced to work together to uncover a blackmail plot against Emmy. This is book 2 in Kate Bateman's Bow Secret Bachelors series. This book has great banter and fun side characters.
Okay. Okay, next we have A Kiss to Remember by Teresa Medores. I probably really butchered that. This is Found Family, Enemies to Lovers, Grumpy Sunshine, Regency, Marriage of Convenience. Oh, and Amnesia. Okay. An orphan and her younger siblings are about to lose their home after the woman who took them in dies, and her evil, heartless son is coming to kick them out and claim the property as his. According to the mother's will, to save the property for her family, she must marry before her 21st birthday, and in her small town, the pickings are slim. Then one day, while strolling the woods, she finds a beautiful, unconscious man with no memory and claims him as her own. There's funny moments, heartwarming and heartbreaking moments, and of course, spicy time. Okay.
Next. Okay, so the next one is A Rose in Winter. It's by Kathleen E. Woodywis. Now that is a fun last name to say. It is marriage of convenience, love triangle, murder mystery, and found family. Irene is auctioned off to the mysterious, masked, and deformed Lord Saxon. Thank you. That works for me. To pay off her, oh, this really does, to pay off her father's debts. Irene never sees her husband's face and body that stays covered at all times, but his kindness and devotion to her brings out her love and loyalty to him or for him until the former love comes back into her life and makes her question things. There's also a murder that needs to be solved as well. It is a really interesting premise for a historical romance. It seems almost like Beauty and the Beast retelling, but it is so much more. I felt so much for the characters. The spice is amazing as well, and there's even a twist that may surprise you. Oh, I like that one.
Okay. Okay, next we have Whitney, My Love by Judith McNaught. This is arranged forced marriage, alpha, possessive hero, spirited, rebellious heroine, marriage of convenience, miscommunication, misunderstanding, groveling hero, rich nobleman with lower status heroine, obsessive possessive love. A rebellious young woman is forced into marriage with a controlling duke who's been obsessed with her from afar, and their relationship explodes into enemies to lovers tension, power struggle, and obsessive high stakes romance. What?
That sounds good too.
Okay. The person says we decided we weren't going to read off people's names for this because we didn't disclose that we might do that. So the person says, ladies, I can't recommend this enough. It is beautifully written, spicy, and the story is captivating. Whitney is one of my favorite heroines of all time. It's also the start of a trilogy, but each book is a standalone. As one of your loyal subscribers, I really think y'all should read this one.
Okay. So the next one is The Highwayman by Kerrigan Byrne. I have already read this one, so this one is for you.
Okay.
This is dark romance, marriage of convenience, second chance. The MMC is a ruthless villain who holds the FMC captive, then makes her a proposition of marriage for protection in exchange for her secrets, so he can exact revenge on his enemies. But she has terms of her own. It's been a few years since I read this book, and I don't read a lot of historical romance, but I really love this one. I hope you will too.
Okay. What did you think of it?
I think it was the narrators, because it is third person, and it was the narrators weren't the great. I didn't care for it. But I do think it was the narrator. I remember that about the narrators being like, I can't do it with the narrators. And it's hard for me to read third person if it's not being narrated. So I don't think it was the book itself. I think it was the narrators.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, next is In Bed with the Devil by Lorraine Heath. And it says, what?
I love Lorraine Heath.
Oh, I don't want to give away the tropes, even though I feel that you will both like them. I think that this is a book you should go in blind because it has some nice twists and it has audio. It's a great book and a series of standalone books that don't get talked about. Good twists, good character development, nice banter, and a bit of heart.
Okay. All right. So the next one is Lord of Scoundrels by Loretta Chase. It is bad boy, good girl, loathe to love, marriage of convenience. Jessica, the heroine, can see the bad influence that Dane, the hero, is having on her younger brother, so she tries to convince him to leave her brother alone. Dane has never met a woman who challenges him like Jessica and is infatuated by her, but in the end, they can't resist each other. Jessica is one of the greatest heroines in historical romance. She is so smart and doesn't take any of Dane's shit. And watching Dane realize he has gasp feelings for Jessica is delightful. It's cute.
Okay. Next, we have The Hunter by Kerrigan Bryn. I hope I'm saying that right.
Burn.
Burn.
What I've always heard it. I've always heard everybody else pronounce it as Kerrigan Burn.
Okay.
Not saying that's correct, just saying that's how everybody else pronounces it.
You're going to like this one. Single mom, he's an assassin sent to kill her.
Oh, yeah.
This is interesting for historical romance and assassin. Usually you don't see that in historical so much. So the heroine, Millie, is an actress and single mom who's just living her life when Christopher Argent shows up to kill her. Once he gets near her, though, Christopher decides to protect her instead of kill her, and then they have to work together to figure out who wants her dead and why. Christopher has a traumatic past that haunts him and helps him suppress any emotion he might feel. So when he is suddenly obsessed with Millie, he can't understand what he's feeling. Watching his icy heart melt for her and her inner child is delightful. And her child is delightful. The series is in fact fantastic. It's on the darker side for historical romance, with all the heroes having some form of childhood trauma.
Okay. This next one is Waking Up with the Duke by Lorraine Heath. And it says, it has always been you and baby deal for the tropes. The Duke of Ainsley owes a debt to his best friend, and in payment, the friend asks Ainsley to give his wife, the friend's wife, a baby. So this is one of Lorraine's famously bonkers books. Ainsley and Jane, the heroine, spend a month together in a cottage while he tries to get her pregnant. It's sexy and emotional, and the whole time you'll wonder how it could ever turn out to have an HEA. Historical with a breeding kink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next is Wicked and the Wallflower by Sarah MacLean. And this is a revenge plot, king of the underworld, and she's a spinster. Felicity, the heroine, has to marry to save her family from destruction, but she has no suitors, so she tells a little white lie that she's engaged to a duke in order to drum up interest. The hero, Devil, wants to get revenge on the duke, so he sets out to seduce the duke's supposed fiance. The power dynamic between these two is really interesting. He's a hardened, street-smart criminal type, and she's a naive spinster wallflower, but he's so charmed by her, and it makes him question whether he can really use her as part of his revenge plot.
Okay. The next one is called Yours Until Dawn. It is by Teresa. Is this the same one you just had? Medeiros?
I think so.
Medeiros? Yeah. Okay. So it's tropes are grumpy hero and disability. The hero is blind, and heroine is hired to help him navigate the disability. They slowly fall in love. Best is to go in blind on this one. I read it a couple years ago, and it's still one of my favorite historical romance books. It might become yours too. I like it when I like that premise. Yeah.
I'm having a hard time keeping up with all the books I'm trying to write down.
I know.
This is going to be hard to decide, and I'm going to be like, I'm going to read 10, and then I'm going to be like, what was I thinking?
Exactly.
Okay. So next up, we have Eyes of Silver, Eyes of Gold by Ellen O'Connell.
I've read that one too.
Western romance, forced marriage of convenience. The heroine is fleeing her controlling family, but by accident gets the hero in trouble. He is beaten and forced to marry the heroine. They did not think he will survive. Slowly, they build a friendship and fall in love.
Okay. Ready for the next?
Yes.
This is The Bride by Julie Garwood. It is medieval Scottish arranged marriage, grumpy sunshine, fierce heroine. And it says it's an arranged marriage between an English woman and a Scottish laird. They travel to his castle, and she has to learn their habits. She is a sassy and fierce heroine. Everyone in her husband's castle hates her for being English, but ends up having everyone wrapped around her finger. There's also some suspense because someone attempts to kill the heroine. It is one of my favorite books, both historical and in general. I love the personalities of both characters. It is one of the classic historicals. I'm might have read this one already. I gotta double check that. But I
Okay.
love it.
9 Rules to Break When Romancing a Rake by Sarah MacLean. This is a curvy heroine and spinster heroine. The heroine is too old to get married according to the time period, and after a lifetime of following the rules, she makes a list of all the things she would like to do in secret. The hero finds out and helps her fulfill the list in exchange for her helping him to introduce his sister to society. It's one of my favorite historical books. I love particularly the scenes where they are checking items off the list. Some of them end up being quite spicy moments. I also love how the hero helps the heroine to become more confident.
Okay. The next one is Highlander Unchained by Donna Fletcher. Disability with a mute heroine. Ooh. Scottish historical medieval series follows one couple, bullied heroine, but not by the hero, protective hero. The heroine is bullied in her village because of her disability and is forced to tend to the
I know, I want it too.
the prisoner warrior. Oh, you guys. Okay. Soon he escapes and becomes the leader of the village. He takes a protective role over her when she is attacked several times. He is engaged to another woman by a forced arranged marriage and at first wants to keep the heroine as a mistress. I really like this book. And also that the series follows the story of the same couple. It gives depth to the relationship. I've not found any other historical romance series that follow only one couple. Gosh dang it, guys. Way to make it difficult.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. If it's a series that follows the same couple, do you have to read the whole series then to get the...
Probably. But you start with book 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, How the Warrior Fell by Nicole Renee. It's a dark romance,
Read
non-con,
that one too.
arranged marriage, medieval enemies to lover. The heroine is the village leader's daughter and is forced to marry the leader of another village to bring peace between them. She hates him and wants to escape, but when they are attacked, her feelings start to change. And this person says she's not read it yet, but it's on her TBR and she would love to know our opinion since there are not many true dark historical romances. So Jessica, you said you read it.
I have read it. It sticks with me. I still remember scenes of it. I did enjoy it a lot. I will say, though, as far as it being historical, it almost feels like it's set up in a different world. It almost feels like it's a fantasy in a way, just because they never say where they're actually from, which it could just be that it's been like it's historical in like times or so, like, because they're like barbarians, basically. So it could be like it was medieval or before that, and we just don't know. I loved it, though. I think I gave it 5 stars. I did enjoy it. There's definitely non-con in it. It is definitely dark. So that's why I loved it. Oops. Okay. Next one. Let's see. Again, the Magic by Lisa Kleypas. This is Second Chance Revenge, Class Difference, Child.
We already had this one. I read this one.
Did you?
It was at the beginning. Yeah. You can
Okay,
go ahead and read it again.
No, that's okay. We're gonna I'll do my next. I'll skip to my next. You just do your next one. How about that one?
It says in the comments, because I know Mandy loves angsty and emotional read, and this book delivered.
Okay. Okay.
So,
all right, read the next one.
Okay. This is Then Came You by Lisa. How are we saying her last name?
Kleypas.
Kleypas. This is Hate to Love and Opposites Attract. The synopsis is reckless, wild, and beautiful Lily Lawson delights in shocking proper London society. And now she is determined to rescue her sister from an unwanted impending marriage to the notorious Alex Lord Rayford by fair means or foul. But while she succeeds outrageously, Alex is a master gamesman who is not to be undone. Alex has lost one bride, yet he is enchanted by this remarkable lady who is willing to break any rule to flaunt her independence. When Lily offers him only scorn, he counters with kindness and he parries her, is that the right word? He parries her blistering barbs with gentle words and a soft, tender touch. The spirited miss will pay dearly for her interference with her body, her soul, and her stubborn, unyielding heart. But will Alex's own heart be the prize to be won in the sensuous game of love? This is a book for Jessica. I think she likes older historical romance more than the modern one. The plot is intriguing. The banter and chemistry between Lily and Alex are amazing, and Lily is a badass heroine too.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are really making this hard for us. Okay.
Yes.
So 100%.
Oh, this one sounds good. I already puked at it. Sorry.
I know. Okay. So The Earl Takes All. It is by Lorraine Heath. It is twin brothers, widow, secret identity, pregnant heroine, risky pregnancy. The heroine's husband dies and his twin brother pretends to be him, kind of forced by his mother with the heroine. So oh my gosh, he pretends with the heroine. Okay. They do it to protect her and the unborn baby because she's had a previous miscarriage and want to protect her from the stress and sadness that could risk this baby too. I have not read it yet, but I have seen many people recommend it on YouTube and it has great reviews. I love Lorraine Heath. So yeah.
Okay. We have The Wallflower Wager by Tessa Dare. It's neighbors, wallflower, grumpy sunshine, and animal lover heroine. The heroine has a lot of rescued animals in her house. Her new neighbor does not want those animals to be living next door, so the heroine tells him that he has to help her find them new homes if he wants them out. And this person says, I've had it on my TBR and have heard great things. According to the reviews, it's also very funny because of the animals and the heroine.
Okay. So the next one is Love Only Once. It's by Joanna Lindsay. It is a rogue, rake, MMC, kidnapping, and a strong female main character. Young rake Nicholas kidnaps Reggie in revenge against her family. A young and spirited Reggie decides she likes Nicholas and he will marry her to avoid ruining her reputation. That's right. You get yours, Reggie. It's a good mix of historical romance with some modern nuances. I enjoyed the Mallory novels a lot and hope you will too.
Okay. The Wolf and the Dove by Kathleen Woodwiss.
Yeah. Woodwiss.
Okay.
There's an I in there. I think it's a Woodwiss. It's fun to say.
Rogue Knight, young heroine, non-con, enemies to lovers, and war conquest. Wolfgar is a conquering knight who takes Aislinn home and her as his reward. Aislinn does her best to protect her people and maintain her pride, but she finds herself developing passion for Wolfgar. And they think it's a great example of historical romance.
Okay. That sounds yummy too. Okay. Takes her prisoner. Okay, the next one is Duke of Excess by Mariah Stone. It is a rogue duke, virgin governess, Harris on the run, hidden identity. He's an overindulgent and gluttonous duke, and she's an educated, budding female scientist raised to never overindulge. She hides from
I think I read this one.
Cool. She hides from her gold digger stepmother and becomes governess to his sisters. They find themselves attracted and things develop. We are introduced to two people whose lives and upbringing are so different that we'd wonder how on earth they could possibly like each other, let alone fall for one another. I like how the author takes us through the gentle and tantalizing nuances of a historical romance, giving us the subtleties and passion of Octavius's growing interest in temperance.
I have not read this one. It just sounded very similar to one that I have read.
Okay.
The Duchess Steele by Tessa Dare.
Okay.
This is a hero with scars and marriage of convenience. Okay, now I do think I might have read this one. Since returning from war, the Duke needs an heir, which means he needs a wife. So when a woman shows up at his door in a wedding dress, he makes her an offer. Okay, I really have read this one. The word volley between the Duke of Ashbury and Emma was so good. The marriage of convenience was definitely a memorable one with an unlikely sidekick and a great group of friends.
Okay.
I liked it.
Okay, good to know. The next one is called One Heart to Win. It's by Joanna Lindsay. It is a cowboy western 1880s family feud, hidden identity. Tiffany agrees to marry Hunter to end the feud between the families. She then decides to pretend to be a housekeeper so she can find out information about her estranged father. Hunter's family steals her, and she then finds herself trying to decide if she still wants to marry Hunter when he's clearly trying to seduce her as the housekeeper. Oh, it's historical and cowboy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is going to be impossible. I have so many notes going here.
I know.
Okay, we should have broken this up into like 2 or 3 and done a series.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, next we have The Bride Goes Rogue by Joanna Shoup. This is rejected arranged marriage and groveling. Catherine's father arranged an engagement to the much sought after tycoon Preston Clark ages ago. The only problem is Preston refuses to acknowledge it. Preston is done letting his late father ruin his life, including choosing his bride. But when a mysterious lover at a masquerade turns out to be his would-be fiance, Preston's resolve begins to crumble. Honestly, this book is on my TBR for ages, so I haven't read it yet. But if you'll enjoy it, I probably would as well. Hope you'll take one for the team. LOL. The only downside is it's third person, but it has audio.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I know. Like, I read this last one. I think I know exactly what it's about. And it was one of my favorites, historicals that I've read. So this is Morning Glory by Laverdale Spencer. I'm pretty sure it's over there on my shelf. It is marriage of convenience and pregnancy. It's Depression era Georgia. Yes, I have read this. I loved this book. A recent pregnant widow with 2 small children puts an ad out for a husband to help her with her farm. A man just out of prison for murder who can't keep a job answers the ad. This one is so good. It's one of my favorites in the genre. It really is. I loved this book. Like, loved it. Just want to let you know.
Okay.
Okay. And that is it. Now we have to friggin' make decisions.
I have so many written down. I don't know how I'm going to do this.
We're going to have to
so
take a
many.
break and make some decisions here, guys. We'll be back.
You don't want them to watch us agonize?
No. Yeah. 30 minutes later.
Okay.
Okay. Gosh, dang it. Well, that was stressful, but we're back.
Yes.
My hair's a little messier because I was like raking my fingers through it trying to decide.
I picked 10 that I really, really wanted to read.
I had
So I had to narrow down from that.
6.
Yeah.
So this was really hard. I mean, this was really hard.
Yes.
So we've decided to read 2 each.
Yes. We're going to read 2 each.
Okay. What's the first one you're going to read?
The first one I'm going to read is A Kiss to Remember, because it's the one where she finds him and he doesn't out in the woods.
Oh, with amnesia.
Yep. Amnesia.
Yep.
He doesn't know who he is. So, of course, I had to pick that one.
Yes. Okay. The first one that I chose is A Rose in Winter because it's the one where she gets auctioned off to the guy who keeps himself completely covered.
Okay.
I mean, duh. Okay. What's the second book that you picked?
The second book I picked was One Heart to Win. And that's the Western one where she's like she's supposed to be marrying him, so she like goes undercover as the maid or something, and then he's trying to seduce the maid, and so she has to decide if she actually still wants to marry him or not.
Okay.
Sounded good.
And then I chose The Earl Takes All by Lorraine Heath. This is the one with the twin brother who pretends to be the husband.
Mm-hmm. That sounded really good too.
Yeah. So
okay.
Here we go.
Here we go.
We'll be back when we're done.
There was one that also sounded really good, but it was like over 700 and some pages. So I have it listed
no audio
to read. Yes, I put it down. Like there were a lot that I really want to get to. So
yeah.
If we didn't feature the one you wanted us to read in this video, we will probably be coming back to this list later.
Totally. So, okay, let's go read.
Let's go read.
All right, guys, we're back. We both read our 2 historicals, so let's talk about them.
We shall have done that. We shall have
done that. Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Okay. Okay, so what'd you read, Mandy?
So I picked 2 books, as did you.
Yep. So tell me about one of them.
My first book was One Heart to Win by Joanna Lindsay. And I rated this one 4 stars. I did enjoy it. There were times where I was a little, it got a little confusing at times because I was listening to it. It's told in third person. and she's pretending to be somebody else. And so there were a few times where I was like, wait, what? And um I think that was just from listening to it when she's pretending to be somebody else, just got for me a little confusing at times. But I did enjoy it. I rated it 4 stars. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't really have anything to critique about it. Like to
Okay.
be like, it wasn't 5 stars because of this. It was 4 stars.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
The first book that I read was Lorraine Heath's The Earl Takes All. This is the one where the
The Earl took it all.
Yes. This is where the heroine's husband died and his identical twin brother takes his place because she's pregnant and they've lost so many babies that he promised his brother that he would take care of his wife when his brother was dying. So I remember when I first started this, I'm like, how is this going to work? Well, the brother was in Africa on an expedition, the two brothers together. And there was already some attraction between her and the other twin. Like they hated each other, but it's because he was attracted to her. And so he had to learn to do some new things. Or learn like to behave like his identical twin. But I enjoyed this one. I gave it a solid 4 stars. Like I really did enjoy this one quite a bit. Like there's this whole thing where he's deaf in one ear. The brother is the one that died. So she'll talk dirty to him in that ear because she's a proper woman, right? Like you're not supposed to say those dirty things. But the brother, the twin that's playing her husband, he can hear the dirty things that she's saying to him. Yep. So I really like that. Anyhow, okay. So that was
I
book
might
one.
have to give that one a try.
Yeah, it was actually really good. I liked it. I liked it a lot. So, because I remember like I was like, how is this going to work? Well, that makes sense. And his brother asks him to do it. So
there were
yeah.
several books in this video that I have written down to go back and read at some point in time.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm like
okay.
sinking down in my chair. Okay, the next I chose A Kiss to Remember by Teresa Medoros. I don't know. This one is amnesia. She finds him out in the woods basically, and he's fallen, I think, off his horse and he doesn't know who he is, so she is gonna pretend that they're together so she has a husband and gets out of that whole thing. I really should have loved this one because I love amnesia, and this one just didn't work for me. I don't know. I don't know if it was like the third person historical romance that made it not work for me or what it was. I didn't care for it. I rated it 3 stars. It wasn't like awful or anything like that. I just didn't care for it. But that could be because I love amnesia that I set my expectations too high. And so I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next one that I read was A Rose in Winter by Kathleen Woodiwis. I like saying her name. It's fun. I wanted to love this one. I really did. This is the one where he like doesn't let her see him, like he's covered and stuff. It's an arranged marriage situation, but it also has a love triangle kind of situation going on. This book is 40 years old. And I understand that people said like back in the day, like,
so old.
Shut up. It was written in the 80s and like this was a big thing back then. Like it was different from all the other books, but it's not different from this one. Plus the audio was 21 hours long. This book there was too much. I just didn't care. I got to a point where I just didn't care. It didn't do it for me. It was
21-hour audiobook.
Yeah, it was a big bastard. So I gave it 2 stars. I just didn't care. And the writing was on the wall from the first chapter. Like all of like the big reveals I figured out very early on, and I was like, it didn't work for me. So one did, one didn't. That's okay. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
A 21-hour audiobook is wild.
I wasted my time. Yeah. So, and she has very like fanciful writing where it's like the magenta hills rolling through the whispering willows of the glacial Emerald Creek that ripples with, and I'm like, oh my gosh, just stop. It was too much. It was too much. Yeah. So,
Wow.
uh-huh. Yeah. So definitely dated, I'd say. Okay, wrap her up.
All right. Well, if you know of any dark historical romance, put that in the comments for Jessica.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, make sure you check back on Mondays. Oh, wait, hold on. I want to thank everybody who sent in rec for us to for this video. I think this is a great video. We have a lot of awesome historical romances to check out in here. I know, like I already said, quite a few on my list to go back to. So thank you everyone who took the time to do that. We hope you really enjoyed the video. We think these are fun to do, and we thought it would be fun to mix it up with a trope. So thank you again. And in the meantime, make sure you check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Sometimes Wednesdays. Wednesdays will probably start to be more towards mid to end June. So we just are very non-committal on our Wednesdays, but yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for sending in those recs, and we'll see you in the next video.